You're not alone.
Remember that feeling when you're watching a horror movie, peeking through your fingers, but you just can't look away? That strange pull towards the terrifying is universal. Your heart is pounding against your ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the quiet. Your muscles are coiled, tensed for a threat that isn't actually there. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Join me as we unmask the hidden psychological triggers that make us not just tolerate fear, but actively seek it out. We are, as far as we know, the only species on Earth that actively seeks out fear for entertainment. It's a deep, fascinating paradox that runs counter to every survival instinct we have. The answer isn't in the monster on the screen, but deep inside the ancient architecture of our own minds. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the psychology of fear. We'll explore our evolutionary roots, the strange pleasure of a safe scare, our obsession with the unknown, and how these terrifying stories can, paradoxically, make us stronger and more connected. This is why we crave horror. Part 1. The ancient roots of fear. To understand our love for horror, we have to go back. Way, way back. Your brain is running on ancient software, an operating system written in a time when a rustle in the tall grass wasn't a sound effect. It was a life or death alarm. That tiny almond-shaped part of your brain called the amygdala, that's your primal fear center. And it hasn't had a major update in about 200,000 years. Early humans lived in a world filled with very real monsters, predators in the dark, the terrifying uncertainty of a storm, the fear of the unknown beyond the campfire's warm glow. These primal fears shaped our instincts, hardwiring us to be hyper-aware of sudden movements, strange sounds, and things that just look wrong. Modern horror is a masterclass in hacking these ancient circuits. Think about it. The jump scare. It perfectly mimics a predator lunging from the shadows. The slow, creeping dread of a haunted house story plays on our ancestral fear of what we cannot see in a dark, unfamiliar territory. Body horror, with its grotesque transformations, taps directly into our deep-seated fear of disease, parasites, and losing control of our own physical forms. The home invasion thriller is a direct assault on our most fundamental instinct, the need for a safe, defensible shelter. Every monster, every ghost, every masked killer is just a modern echo of the saber-toothed cat, a ghost in our DNA that still knows how to make our blood run cold. Part 2. The controlled catharsis. So, if these fears are so real and stressful, why in the world does it feel fun? The magic word is control. When you watch a horror film, you're engaging in what psychologists call benign masochism. You're enjoying a negative experience because you're in a completely safe context. Your conscious mind, your rational prefrontal cortex, knows that no matter how sharp the killer's knife looks, it can't come through the screen. This creates a perfect psychological loophole. The scary imagery triggers a genuine fight or flight response. Your heart rate climbs, your pupils dilate, your body is flooded with a powerful chemical cocktail. Adrenaline for alertness, endorphins to manage pain, and dopamine, the pleasure chemical. You are getting all the exhilarating physiological highs of a real survival situation, but without any of the actual risk. It's the roller coaster principle. We scream and throw our hands in the air as we plummet towards the ground because we know we're strapped into a seat on a metal track. Horror is a psychological roller coaster. It's a process called catharsis, an emotional purge. You spend 2 hours in a heightened state of anxiety, and when the credits roll and the lights come up, your brain is flooded with a profound sense of relief. That wave of calm that washes over you afterward. That's the feeling of having survived. You've put your nervous system through a stress simulation and come out the other side, feeling cleansed, accomplished, and strangely satisfied. Part 3. The thrill of the unknown. But it's not just about the biological rush. Horror speaks to another fundamental human drive, curiosity. We are pattern-seeking creatures who have an innate desire to understand the world. We build models, we tell stories, we create science to explain the unexplained. Horror takes that desire and turns it against us. It presents us with a puzzle that breaks all the rules. It creates an information gap that we are desperate to fill. What is that sound in the attic? What does that ancient symbol mean? Why is the ghost still here? Our brains can't stand not knowing, and we will follow the story into the darkest places to find the answer, even if we know the answer itself will be terrifying. This is the entire basis of cosmic horror, perfected by writers like H.P. Lovecraft. His central idea was that humanity's oldest and strongest emotion is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. Horror allows us to confront the unimaginable. It lets us peek behind the curtain of our mundane reality and flirt with the idea that there are older, bigger, and far stranger things in the universe than us. It's the ultimate exploration of our own limits of knowledge, a powerful and humbling experience. Part 4. Mastering our demons. On an even deeper level, horror can be a form of therapy. The monsters we see on screen are very often symbolic stand-ins for the real anxieties we face in our own lives. A film like The Babadook isn't just about a creepy monster from a children's book. It's a powerful and heartbreaking metaphor for the inescapable nature of grief. The zombie hordes in The Walking Dead aren't just flesh-eating ghouls. They represent our fears of societal collapse, pandemic, and the loss of our own humanity. By watching characters confront these symbolic threats, we are, in a way, confronting our own demons from a safe distance, and we learn from them. Think of the classic final girl trope. She's the character who survives to the end, not because she's the strongest, but often because she's the most observant, resourceful, and resilient. We watch her struggle, adapt, and fight back, and it becomes a vicarious training session. We're learning how to problem solve under extreme pressure. Horror provides a narrative framework for us to process difficult emotions and complex societal fears. It shows us the worst humanity has to offer, and also the incredible strength it takes to survive it. By facing these symbolic threats in a story, we can feel a little more prepared, a little more in control of the real ones. Part 5. The social connection. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, horror is profoundly social. Think about the last time you screamed in a movie theater. In the split second after, what did you hear? Nervous laughter, a wave of shared relief. In that moment, you and a room full of strangers are completely connected. Shared fear is an incredibly powerful bonding mechanism. Going through a terrifying experience together, even a fictional one, builds a unique sense of camaraderie. It's a communal ritual where we allow ourselves to be vulnerable in front of others. Scientists call this excitation transfer, the arousal from the fear experience amplifies the positive feelings we have towards the people we are with. The screams, the gasps, and the long, excited discussions afterward all forge and strengthen social bonds. More than that, horror films have always held up a mirror to society. They are a cultural barometer, reflecting what we are collectively afraid of at any given moment in history. The giant atomic monsters of the 1950s showed a world terrified of nuclear annihilation. The slashers of the 80s reflected anxieties about the decay of the suburban dream. And modern films like Get Out use the genre to create blistering critiques of contemporary social issues. Horror gives us a shared language to talk about the things that scare us most as a culture. So, the craving for horror isn't a glitch in our programming. It's a feature. It's our ancient survival instincts being taken for a safe test drive. It's a way to experience a powerful cathartic release. It's a tool to satisfy our relentless curiosity about the darkness. It's a training ground for mastering our own fears, and a ritual that connects us more deeply to the people around us. We seek out what we are biologically programmed to avoid, because on the other side of that fear lies relief, understanding, resilience, and connection. So, the next time you turn down the lights, huddle under a blanket, and press play on a scary movie, remember what you're really doing. You're not just looking for a cheap thrill. You're engaging in one of the oldest and most complex human rituals of all, staring into the darkness together and finding the light on the other side. What's your all-time favorite scary movie, and what fear do you think it taps into? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look into the psychology of fear, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories we tell ourselves. Thanks for watching.